All right, what's up everybody? We are in Missouri with good friend of Vortex, Isaiah Curtis of Curtis Custom Weapons. Now Jim, I'm gonna backfill people here a little bit. Jim's already built a gun. He and Nick screwed one together. I think they used righty-tighty. Anyway, a gun for the commoners. We're gonna be building today a high-end, highfalutin, top-tier, long-range precision rifle, pinky up, fully extended. Isaiah, what the heck are we gonna be doing?
Yeah, we got all the parts here.
Yeah, we got a lot of parts.
Yeah, we got a big bunch of parts, big table full. We'll get a barrel put in the lathe, get it running true, and chambering it. We'll kind of work our way through as the day goes and see if we can't run out of parts by tonight sometime.
No, unlike the one that Nick and I put together, which there's some footage of as well, this barrel essentially is like just a blank,
Yes.
just barrel of steel with a hole drilled through the middle and some rifling, right? So you actually, this has some carbon on it. Pardon me, I forgot. You know.
Actually a carbon fiber barrel, but yes, it'll.
Yep.
It starts off as a inch 200, just a bare shank. We'll cut the tenon on it, thread it, get it where our action will run on it. Put a bolt nose recess in it. Chamber at 6.5 Creedmoor. Get this end of it all done, head spaced correctly. We'll spin it around, do likewise on the other end, cut it, crown it, thread it, get it all together, put it in the chassis, get our scope mounted up, and we should be good to go shoot little groups. Today we'll simply be using a lathe. You know, everything's pretty cut and dry. It'll be a pretty simple chamber job. So when we start on this, we're going to undercut this to inch 0625 for our tenon. Defiance are 16 threads per inch, inch 0625 diameter. So we're going to set this up. We're going to cut the tenon. We're going to take a measurement real quick, and that is going to be a 790. And then we're going to step in beside that and go down to the top of the lug, and that's going to be a 960. So we're going to go in, we're going to undercut a relief for the bit to fall into when we're threading the tenon. We're at inch 100. We need to go to 960, so we got to take 140 thousandths off the chamber in. All right, we've got a 60-degree threading bit. So we want our thread depth to be 81 thousandths from the surface down for a 16 thread per inch. So we'll start off, make our first trail pass across it, make sure everything's going to be good. So we stopped about 5 thousandths short of making the depth that we're after. Okay. I just like to do a fit up there, because once you take it, there is no taking it back once it's gone. So we're going to come back in. We're going to come in about 3 thousandths, take a pass. Ideally, that's what you want. You want no movement whatsoever.
Okay, right.
Even when it's not butted up, you don't want any.
Just a zero play in there.
Yeah, you don't want it to be flopping around. Now, we've got a gap here from the front of the action to the barrel face.
Right.
And the reason for that is we haven't cut the bolt nose recess in it yet. So we open the bolt to clear that up. We should be able to come right on in to positive stop. Once we know that our thread is clean and clear all the way to the shoulder, we've got a good surface now. So now we can come back in and take our 150 thousandths bolt nose recess out of it, mock it back up again, make sure the bolt clears. If the bolt clears at that point in time, then we know that we're ready to start chambering. So since we've already taken we got 150 thousandths from the tip of the nose to the front of the lugs.
Mm-hmm.
So since we've already removed our additional 5 thousandths from the face of the barrel,
Mm-hmm.
we can actually just cut our true 150 now, because it'll give it its 5 thousandths clearance. And then we'll have 5 thousandths clearance at the front of the recess and also at the base of the barrel. Now that we have the bolt nose recess in, action screwed on, we've got no resistance as we're working the bolt now.
How smooth that is.
Everything goes together as it should, drops down as it should. We got our 5 thousandths clearance on the bolt nose recess. We got our 5 thousandths clearance on the breech of the barrel. So now, as far as from a mechanical standpoint, we've done everything that we can do to make the action fit the tenon. Now we've got to start putting the chamber in. We're going to be using a JGS 6.5 Creed reamer. It's a floating pilot. Pilot the bore size. You want the pilot to slip in the bore without resistance, but you also don't want it to have a bunch of slack either. I use a floating pilot holder just to take some rigidity out of everything, let it kind of do its thing. With the bore running true, it really is not a huge deal to have to use it. I've always used it. It just works good. Okay. So now
It's almost there.
we can force that if we wanted to.
Gotcha. Right.
So we're within 2 thousandths. Now we're down to where we want to be. So what I shoot for is I want the go gauge to go with absolutely no resistance. I want the no-go gauge to not go with a pipe wrench. I don't want it to go at all.
Okay.
That cuts that parameter down from 3.5 to about 1.5. We're done on the chambering.
Okay.
There's nothing left to do.
Look at that, Mark.
There she is.
Oh, what a beauty.
Yeah, there it is. Everything from this point on is strictly cosmetic here. We got everything smoothed up. There's a good square edge down in there on the bolt nose recess. You want to make sure that that edge cuts true square, because your bolt comes up pretty square and you don't want any interference in that. So we're ready to peel it out of there. We'll put it in a barrel vise. We'll screw the action down on it, give it a good snug, make sure that our headspace is still exactly where we want it. Confident it's going to be, but we're going to do that and then get it indexed in again and start on the motor. There's our go. No problem, no resistance. No go.
Yeah.
No lockup, won't break down. We're exactly where we want. So now we found our high, which is very minute, but we found it. And we're lined up with our line that we indexed to tell us that the action was top dead center.
Okay.
So we know we're on the right pattern. We know that the bullet, when it exits, is going to be slight uphill.
Okay.
We're going to start at a 620, I believe, here. And 618. So come in and use a separating tool. reason for that is I know with my arm I didn't adjust anything in that chuck. It's still just the way that
And you're gonna just the way we want it. Reface it anyways, or
yeah. That's all gonna be under hammer. Try to smooth the outer surface of it.
Yeah.
It's cut really smooth anyway, but I just try to keep the center of the wet paper off of the riflings itself. We want to make sure that we keep a nice, clean, crisp corner on it.
Yeah.
We don't want to round them off. We want to keep them nice, square.
Okay.
True, right. Which is kind of what you would think, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Right. I put a chamfer on this with the face of a bit as well, so what that does is it allows the thread lead to come into it easier rather than having a square shoulder to jump on.
Okay.
If you just slightly chamfer that, it just lets it a smoother transition come.
Gotcha.
So now we're going to want to thread 24 threads per inch.
She's looking sharp.
He's getting there.
Does have that mean look to it.
That barrel does look nice.
What do you
you
guys want this at?
What would you recommend, Nick? Where do you want it?
I do mine at about 8 to 10
hold on.
ounces.
Yeah, mini.
Isaiah likes his around 4.
This whole setup is gonna be so sweet. Uh-oh, Jim.
I think they're getting ready to happen now.
It's beautiful. Oh man, that's butter already. Well, thanks to Isaiah, we've seen just about everything that goes into making a super awesome custom long-range rifle. We're gonna jump out of here and grab a bite to eat, but tomorrow, the real exciting stuff starts when we shoot these bad boys and see what they can do. All right, we're back at Isaiah's. It's a beautiful morning. Got a little bit of wind, but the temperature is just right. We've got the rifle set up. We're gonna break these rifles in. I think we might even clean them first. I don't know, he's got all sorts of stuff going on to get these rifles prepped and broke in, and then we're really gonna hopefully stretch them a little bit later and see what they can do accuracy wise. Isaiah, get over here and show us what's going on.
All right, so even though we should have a clean bore, we're gonna push a couple patches through it, wet patches, just to ensure that there's no residual left over from anything during the building process. For that, I'm just gonna use Ronzinol or Zippo fluid. Just something to wet the patch to make it pick up more stuff as it goes through. Put a bore guide in it.
A little bit of stuff going on there.
Very small amount, that's nothing to be concerned with. Put a mop on it now, make sure that we didn't get any residue in the chamber. That's something you really want to be cautious with, is if you have any excess cleaning solvents, fluids, anything in the chamber when you fire it. When you get done, I like to use those little mops, but anything that you can get in there and make sure that it's good and clean with. That's pretty much all we're going to do to fire the first shot, and then we're going to go through the cleaning process, the full barrel break-in process. Typically, I shoot and clean every shot for 3 rounds, and then I'll shoot a 5-shot group with it, or a 3-shot group, depending on what the rifle is, and then I'll clean it again. And then after that, it's good until it's got several hundred rounds on it, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Fire in the hole. Oh, we're not that far off.
How was the recoil, Mark?
Nothing. Yeah, nothing.
Awesome.
Well, to the right, half a mil up. We should be in good shape. There'll be a low and a high. Sometimes there's even a mid. But
He's close now.
I'll have you shoot it right where it was.
Yeah.
We won't move anything this time.
Yeah.
See where the bullet lands, and then we'll make an adjustment from there. Just carbon. Typically, if you don't see it on the first initial shot,
Right.
you're not gonna see it.
It's not going to get worse.
It's just gonna pretty much stay like that. So at this point, you know, I'm comfortable with it to run some shot strings down it and shoot some groups with it. Right? Cool. Come down about 1/10 and a half, and he's good. Two are in the same hole, and one's a half inch. The last shot was about a half inch above it. You mind if I shoot this?
I was going to say, why don't you just take a couple of shots, put your stamp of approval on it before you move to the next rifle.
Yeah. Let the pros have a crack.
Left column, second from the top.
Yep.
That's a hammer.
All right, so
Well,
that thing's gonna shoot. I'm happy with that. Once we get that broke in, we'll be good to go out to the big range. Cool.
awesome.
Combined.
High left. You was on the second row down, right?
Second row down, second from the right. 2 point, what's each one of these? 0.2 mils?
Yep.
2.3 left. And then we're up about 0.8.
Where'd that one land, Jimbo?
Smidge high and a smidge left.
All right, shoot a 3-shot grip down there, and let's see what we can do. Bottom of the bullseye. Just left of the first shot, half inch. Back to the bottom of the bullseye.
As first and last shot are right on top of each other.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty pretty telling.
Those will do. Those will do. It's always deceiving, even when you're shooting. These little diamonds look much bigger than they are, and then you get up here and you're like, oh, that's actually
Right.
That's okay. You know, I mean that's okay. That's okay. But holy mackerel, that is one tiny little ragged hole.
That's an exceptional group too.
That's your gun.
This is good enough to go compete with. Definitely.
That's still a
That's a good
375,000 screw center to center. It's way substantially less than a half inch. That's 3/4. So
Yeah. So that's Mark's gun.
Yep.
For those watching, Mark's gun with the Berger ammunition that we were originally shooting with. This is our gun Nick and I built, threw together a couple times consecutively. But anyways, finally it's together. That's our group there. Same ammo, so you can kind of see, you know, a little bit of what goes into that.
I'd say overall though, they're both
shooting good.
pretty darn solid. Pretty darn solid.
Should definitely be able to smoke some steel pretty easy with both of them.
Awesome.
All right.
all right. Got some wind from right to left.
And we're at, you said 4.7, right?
4.7 up. Hold right on the dot on his shoulder.
Okay.
There you go.
Do it again. Same exact hole.
Set it up on the target, but a little low. go.
Come on. Do one more if you got it in there. Do a 3-shot group right there.
Nice. That's awesome. Take that.
She's shooting.
Yeah.
All right, ready for me to send some?
Oh yeah.
That was definitely an impact.
What's that?
Aim for the dot on his butt.
Okay.
Okay, do another one. Same hole.
That was circling there, Jim.
Okay, do one more, same hole.
All right, send another one here.
Yes sir, same hole.
Okay.
The wing is perfect.
Do one more.
Elevation looked good.
So, you got that programmed in for 700? Is that what your ballistic program was saying?
That was what mine was saying, yeah.
Okay.
It was saying 4.7?
It was saying 454.
Okay, so let's change yours now to where it says like 474.
Okay, so we'll go down to 2745. And now it says 466.
Okay, go down another 15 feet a second.
Down to 2730. Now it's saying 4.72.
Okay, we'll do that.
Okay.
Stay there and put in 520 distance. Okay.
520, I've got 2.92.
So put 2.9 on both your rifles. All right, does everybody see the IPSC target?
Yep.
Down and slightly right from the bear.
Mark, can I just say that I love having a gun that I can do this with?
Oh, you mean like it picks up the round from the magazine and closes and works and shoots straight and everything?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
yeah. I also can't wait to shoot yours.
All right, who's going first?
Marco.
All right, Mark, you got 3-0 dialed in your gun?
Yep, yes sir.
Okay, I want you to hold on the right edge of the face.
Okay, standing.
Go down to 2.9. Give me one more. Hold in between the dot in the center of the forehead and the right edge. Hold halfway in between.
Okay.
Centered up.
Do one more, same hold. Hold center, shoot center. Do a 3-shot group for me right there. Bam. Jim, you want to do it? Start off with a 3-shot group. Center mass.
Sure.
2.9, I would say.
I've got 2.9 dialed.
That looked beautiful.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hell yeah. Beautiful. Look at that.
Look at that.
Isaiah, do you think Mark's wing could have been due to this at all?
All right, I want to shoot Mark's. Okay, so
That
what now?
trigger's a little bit different, Jim. Remember,
Yeah, aim for the bolt in his throat.
What's a little bit different, Nick?
the trigger. You got
Oh,
a lot
yeah,
lighter
that's right.
trigger in that gun.
Sweet Jesus. That trigger is insane.
Where'd it go?
You don't got to give her much.
Went right here.
Okay.
Okay, another one, same hole.
Gosh.
You all ready?
Yep. When you're ready, send it.
All right, so this concludes a day of shooting out here with Isaiah, and we got to test out the rig that Nick and I built at the office, and it shot pretty well, but we also really got to test out this one that just got built yesterday. We watched it with our very own eyes, and incredible shooting. It's kind of nice shooting these real nice precision guns for a change, Mark.
It is, Jim. And we've been kind of, joking around with yours as kind of being the, the entry level. But man, that is a fine piece of equipment. It's a giant step up than, what you're used to, what you've been shooting a lot. But I have to say, after shooting both, there is a pretty big difference. You and Nick did a fine job on that thing, but Isaiah, this thing is a work of art. All the components and the finish and the way it put together and how you trued it up and how accurate and easy as this thing is to shoot. It really is a joy to shoot a rifle like this.
They both perform very well, and that's a huge step up from a lot of other options that are out there. The rifle that you built, it shot well.
Yeah.
We put it through about every pace you can, and good results with it. They're both capable of going out and winning matches. It just comes down to exactly what you said. I mean, how fast do you want to go? So that's
right.
That's it.
Jim, you know me, I like the finer things.
I know you do. And you know me. I like to kind of try and hobble along for as cheap as I can. But anyway, so if you're watching the video right now and you haven't listened to the podcast yet, you're going to have to go listen to it, because now we actually have to go podcast here with Isaiah. Talk all about his gunsmithing and some of the stuff that goes into putting something like that together. Maybe even a couple of tips and tricks for somebody who is looking to just put something like this together on their own. I know that Nick and I learned a few things that maybe we would have done slightly differently.
Wake up, Jim.
Good morning.
So with that said, tune into that. Bye.
Well, bye.